Hello and welcome to Visual Ancestor, and I'm the Chief Curator. And in this video, I am going to complete the process of archiving, uploading photographs into a group that you've made on Visual Ancestor. And the fourth step here in the process is step 4, identify persons. So in case you're new to this video, you haven't done step 1, 2, and 3, I would recommend that you do. Step 1, upload our scans. Step 2, archive the information. Step 3, specify the photographer. But if you're coming at this new, you had to walk away, you had to close things down, and you initially log in, you can get to step 4 simply by first going to your group, which is just drop the pancakes down. You can click groups. You'll get the list of your groups here in the center. Click on the group you're working in. You get the list of photographs in that group. Go ahead and click on the photograph number. And then you're brought to the photograph view. You're still not there yet, so you have to edit the photograph. Click on edit. You're automatically brought to step 1, but we are going to skip forward to step 4. So I'm going to click on step 4. In this step, we are able to identify up to 30 persons in the photograph. We're also able to click on each person and get kind of like a marker or a target with a number, and that number is going to correspond to the row number in a table that's going to build below. And that's how we're going to enter the identities of these persons. So let's look at the photograph, and if you click on any of the people on the photograph, you'll be able to get kind of an ID target. So I'm going to click on the face of this guy, and as you can see, that kind of plants a target on his face. It says number 1 in it. I'm going to do the same thing for the second person, and I have the number 2 in that target. If I scroll down to the table that kind of builds below, you notice that row number 2 was added when I clicked on the second target. In this table below, now I'm going to have some fields to either identify an existing person if I've already entered in a person. I will be able to choose a person. If I drop that down, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 5 people that I've already entered into a Visual Ancestor. But I can also, if I didn't, specify a brand new person. So let's specify some new people. So number 1, row number 1 corresponds to target number 1, which is the man. So let's suppose that this is my grandfather. I'm going to call him George, middle name Joseph Brooks, let's just say. And then for person number 2, that's his wife. Let's say it's Annie Elizabeth Walker. I could do that. I could also go Elizabeth Walker Brooks. However your particular style is, putting the names of a married couple in there. I'm just going to leave it like that. If I leave it like that, if I go to an alphabetical listing of persons, I'm going to have to find Annie under the W's. I could also do something like Brooks Walker or Brooks-Walker. Again, whatever your particular style is. I'm just going to leave it like this. The actual first entry, notice, is the set of coordinates that target was placed on the photograph. Don't do anything with that. Just leave it as is. That automatically sets. And then lastly, for each person, notice that I have a place where I can mark the determination, as we've already talked about in previous videos. So here, I'm just going to leave this well, let's just suppose that these are my great-grandparents, and I didn't know their names until I did genealogical research. Maybe my parents didn't even know. In that case, I would select research. But I did create kind of a story to guide us through the process of creating the group and also creating these photographs. And the story was, if you remember, this was a photograph in a box that was my grandparents, and it was in my father's attic that I found. So kind of like following that theme, my father may have known that these were his parents. So I'm just going to put personal information, personal knowledge, and I'm going to leave the same for Annie there. If I need to add a new row, I can click this button, add new row, and that'll just add more rows. I can also remove the latest row by clicking remove latest row, just to keep my data orderly. Doesn't really do anything if it's blank. Just leave it blank. If you accidentally click new row, doesn't really matter. All right, that completes it. So now I am going to click on save and return, and that's going to save this information, and it's going to return me back to the photo view. Remember, just to repeat myself a little bit, if you already entered a photograph and identified George Brooks and Annie Walker, they would be present in this drop-down list, and you would choose their names here, and you would leave these fields blank because you're choosing a person you've already entered into the system. If you don't do that, you've already entered a person and you put their names here a second time, with this existing person field being blank, you're going to enter them a second time, and you're going to have a duplicate. All right, so let's go ahead and press save and return. And now we're brought back to the photo view. We have a nice note up here saying saved identifying persons. And on a photo view, if I just scroll down a little bit, now that we've identified persons, in this section we have under persons, we actually have the little cards or little sections that represent each person here in their name. I can also click on Show ID Targets. And when I click on Show ID Targets, I'm just giving a visual heads up of what the targets are that correspond to the numbers of the persons down here. I can hide those targets again, make them go away. And that's a very helpful feature, not only for us, but for anyone who comes and views a public photograph for which there are identified persons. So always remember that if you're in the library looking at a photograph, persons are identified, you can always click on Show ID Targets and just get a heads up at who's who. All right, that completes step 4, which is identifying persons. I can always go back and edit this photograph. I'll click Edit. And I can always go back through these steps, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and change information all throughout here. Always remember, though, to save your information as you move on. That's it here, and I hope you have a great time archiving photographs. Let us know if you have any recommendations or suggestions or difficulties. We want to hear about that. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.